As we take a moment to observe how the world has changed in the past few years, it always helps to think of what our younger selves may have thought or felt when faced with similar events. It's one way to figure out how jaded or cynical we may have become over the years. And it helps in appreciating and understanding the concerns and worldviews of young people around us. The Global Trends study that is carried out by Ipsos every decade aims to capture how people across the globe view their lives and futures and reveals shared realities but also divergences. Research is conducted across 50 countries and 1,000 individuals in each, equal representation of gender and an age cohort stretching from 19 to 74. It is a robust dataset, but given that it is an online survey, it acknowledges that respondents are more educated, largely urban and probably better off than many of their fellow citizens. In 2024, the macro trends identified by the study don't hold any surprises. However, they do reveal how people are observing and reflecting on critical issues of our time. One of the trends is economic disparities, and data reveals that people realize they are in the midst of the downfall of the middle classes. What was once a clear trajectory for a majority, that children should and will prosper more than their parents, is now perceived to be out of reach. The divide between the haves and have-nots has been exposed for what it signifies. Those in positions of power do not want the status quo to change. The economic trend also points to a fracturing of societies and impacts politics and social structures. Tensions around immigrants and refugees, the role of digital technology, populism and polarity of views all suggest that we are in the midst of massive transformations. Where the collisions occur can already be partially predicted, but what it means for us as human beings and nation-states is as yet unknown. Another shift reveals how people's thinking has changed on a particular issue. A decade earlier, people were worried about climate change. Today, according to the study, 80% of respondents realize we are in the midst of an environmental emergency. Most also believe that our habits need to change quickly if we are to survive, and they hold companies and governments responsible for lack of action and initiative on environmental stewardship and building a more sustainable future for all. However, individuals see themselves as doing as much as they can in this regard, and this is where the issue of environmental emergency becomes submerged to the immediate reality of rising costs of living and disparities in wealth and health. Over 70% of people believe that technology can be used to solve the problems we face. There is awe and wonder at what can be achieved, but more than half also believe that technology is destroying the very fabric of our lives. Fears about how the metadata that is collected invades our privacy, is taking our jobs, and whether humans themselves will be able to control artificial intelligence in the future, are growing. The use of digital technology to control our autonomy and independence, while our own expanding dependence on smartphones and the like reflect the innately complex and intricate nature of our relationship with technology and whether this will in the long term be to our advantage or disadvantage. Where does Pakistan stand across all these parameters of perception? Interestingly, there are some similarities but also differences. We stand with the rest of the world when it comes to a distrust in elites, and 72% of us agree that the economy is rigged to the advantage of the rich and powerful. 91% of Pakistanis believe that we are heading for environmental disaster if we don't change our ways. A significant majority, 89%, also believe that modern technology provides the answer to the big challenges we face. Our most prominent differences with the world are linked to personal and societal values. 82% of us still believe that the main role of women is to be good mothers and wives, and this is linked to our traditionalist view on religion. Only 39% of the rest of the world adheres to this view. I have become more aware over time of how deeply patriarchal and misogynistic our society has become, so while I should be surprised at this figure, I'm not. Just weary of the struggle that seems to go nowhere. What did alarm me was that while saying our faith is very important to us, we also differ to the rest of the world on our opinion of material ownership. 79% of Pakistanis compared to 46% globally agree to the statement, "I measure success by the things that I own." This juxtaposition of focus on wealth and possessions, yet convincing ourselves that we have strong faith, reflects a confusion, an internal dissonance in our value systems. This is troubling. I titled this piece, Deep Fakes, for a reason. Our society is at a crossroads. We have a young population that we are failing. Politicians talk of Pakistan becoming great, but have betrayed us with falsehoods and false hope for far too long. They take the easy way out, as do most of us elites. And the examples we set for the rest of the country means they will do the same. This divergence between rhetoric and practice is our downfall, and it is reflected in the dissonance of values within our collective psyche. Is it possible to crawl out of this hole? The answer lies in intention.